Yo, what up? So, this is about the Mercury chakra, and this is all about the thinking and the communication. The thinking comes first. Left brain logic, which is also associated with Gemini and Virgo. Um, it's at home at Gemini and Virgo, and it's exalted at Virgo. So, Gemini is always thinking and communicating, which gives it that air-like quality, and being mutable is why it's great here and very analytical and communicative. So it can communicate its ass off and communicate about anything because it's thinking about all perspectives and angles, and pinpointing and connecting the dots. And it's all about the environmental. So it's expanding its analytical um, way of connecting and seeing things, and coming into a conclusion, and how it can apply it and relate it to itself and add on to that logic. So it deals with the masculine externalizing energy as well. um, so Virgo can do the same thing, but it's exalted. What makes its exaltation is it can be mutable as well at the same time. Practical, practical, I can't even say that word. Make it practical, and take shape and form of its logic, so it can make sense of it. And it's even more beneficial when we are on planet Earth, because it's the Earth element. And as a Virgo Earth sign, which is all about practicalizing its thoughts and making dense and heavy, so it can solidify, and something to stand on and ground on. And this is why Virgos are great at working and nurturing and scheduling their business and their routine, so they can get to their goals and stuff like that. So most Virgos, they know how to, they know that they already know how to um, become one with the with its mentality of Earth, because it's already part of it. Like Earth is already part of how it's thinking and taking shape and form and solidifying and becoming the Earth-like quality itself. So it's already connected to those aspects and energetic mentality forces. So that's what it is before it became solid like Earth in this physical flesh form type shit, and how you see Earth in the whole environment. Um, so yeah, it should go deep. So it's spiritual first in the metaphysical aspect, and then it becomes physical. That's how Earth signs practical. I'm not gonna say that. Make it practical. So, um, so Mercury here is great for those two signs, especially if the Mercury is in Virgo. So the difference between Gemini is they may not, they will always think about and expand their mutability, the mutableness of it, but they might not be able to make certain things practical. And they might take advice and ideas that might make them flunked out. They might want to see how it goes for them, and it may not work out for them. So, but at the same time, they're beneficial because they're able to try it out, and you never know if it works for you. So yeah, if a Virgo cannot make it practical, they won't go for it, because they have to make it practical for them to make sense. That's how they're consciously aware of as a sun sign. So as a Mercury, this is how you're already thinking by default. So yeah, so you have a Mercury Virgo, you know what I'm talking about. You're always thinking about what makes sense and what's practical. And if it's something like Pisces like energy, like, or Sagittarius, it might make you not go for those type of qualities, because your qualities is more practical and nurturing your goals and business. As a Sagittarius, they have to go through the experience to be knowledgeable and wisdom of that experience, so they can apply it to their moral system. So Sagittarius goes about it in a Mercury in a Sagittarius goes about it in thinking about the experience and not really making it practical. So they want to think about the experience and trying it out and going for it, so they can see how it is, and gain the knowledge of it and the wisdom, extract it. So a Virgo and Mercury might not agree with that, because they don't know if the experience will make them fall or win. So that's what makes them nervous by nature. They have to be careful. Virgos have to be careful by nature, and just go through it piece by piece, and what makes sense. And same thing goes for Pisces, because it's debilitated here in Mercury. It can take shape and form and make it practical, but the downfall here is it's expansive and it's all the way into its waters, and it can connect and get lost in its own thinking process, and it can be too much for a Pisces. So when a Pisces and Mercury is trying to communicate, it can be like an overload, and they might not know how to communicate the words that they're already thinking, because they go deep with it in their thoughts, and they can connect those thoughts with their emotions. See, my Mercury is in Pisces, and I guess to me I'm not doing so bad. I'm practicing this shit, but yeah. But a Mercury and Virgo will always have the upper hand when it comes to communicating the details and the aspects and the every single speck of sand and how it makes sense. I could do the same, but it's going to be a little bit, I have to focus about it a little bit more deeply, and concentrate those energies into a more practical mentality. But it's like alchemy, shaping form, the water, and making it mutable, just like Virgo, and taking shape and form like a Virgo mentality, and making it mutable, just like Virgo. So yeah, and I'll just leave it at that. It's all about the communication style. Everybody's communication style is differently, and if people can understand that we all have our own Mercury at the time we was born, and we have different ways of thinking about it and communicating about it. This is what makes us different, and we are inside of something with a blueprint that's quote unquote Mercury. So Mercury, it plays on a different levels of scales. So if we all have Mercury as species, that should tell you that there's something that we are inside of that has Mercury, and it's communicating within its subconscious, and it has its own awareness and massive thinking and communicating as we are within it. But that's getting too deep, but I guess that's all I have.